If you're in sales, how many times have you thought to yourself, I think I'm doing everything right, but why aren't I closing the deal? Maybe you're struggling with making quotas, or maybe you're having a hard time getting calls returned and emails returned. You know that something is going on, something is missing, and yet you're not quite sure of what that is. Our next guest has spent over 30 years analyzing sales processes and systems and has debunked the myth that sales is a numbers game. He's going to share with us how to bring the human relationship into sales and build relationships with potential clients and customers. Please welcome Lee Smith of Salesfuel. Hello, Lee.
Hey, Cindy.
I'm so excited that you're here because sales credibility. 30 years ago, you were already doing sales credibility. When everybody else out there was doing that push selling, you were already building relationships and connecting. Tell us all about that and why in today's climate, this is more important than ever.
Absolutely, Cindy. You know, over 30 years ago, even then I had the self-awareness to know my advantages and disadvantages. And I knew that I didn't have the experience and to have a lot of great stories to tell. And I wasn't great with small talk. So what I would do instead then, it would be to rip and read articles from the newspaper, magazines, and I put them in file folders, and I would go out and share them with clients instead. And that made me then more valuable to them because, and I was able to get more meetings. I would get emails returned, and it was a great start to building relationships.
Wow. That's amazing that from that need came this realization and has become a 30-year career. It's remarkable. Now, in your book, Sales Cred, you talk about how credibility is how buyers are qualifying sellers. Mm-hmm. That's a revelation. Tell us, what is that all about?
Well, as salespeople, we tend to talk about how to qualify the buyer, or do they fit our ICP? Did they spend enough money to be an enterprise client? We've got it exactly backwards. What we need to focus more on is how the buyer qualifies us as salespeople. I mean, did you know that 63% of business buyers will actually go and research not only the company but also the salesperson before taking a meeting with them? So if you don't show up as credible online, just to start with, and that's one of the first levels of sales credibility, then you're going to have a hard time getting your calls returned and getting invited for the business. And that's just one way. Also, you have to know your stuff. So sales is not a numbers game; it's an intelligence game, and that's where sales credibility comes into play. That you have to build that before you actually have the meeting.
Yeah. That is really so true, especially in today's climate. Everybody's online, everybody's Googleable, and if they see you on Google and you're doing something that ruins your credibility, you've lost a sale before you even had the conversation. So you mentioned about the hierarchy of sales credibility. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So imagine then a pyramid. So there's actually 5 different levels, and you have these 5 levels then with every single account or prospect. So sales credibility is not the same as personal branding. So the first level of that is what the internet says about you. Then it's what you say, how you say it, then what you do, and then the pinnacle of sales credibility, when you know you've actually got it, is it's what they say about you when they're willing to give referrals to you and recommend you then to their friends and colleagues.
I love that. It's beautiful. And when you build that in, sales becomes so much easier and more fulfilling. So a lot of people out there, a lot of salespeople buying lists of prospects. I'm going to find my people. However, what you do is radically different. You take it you go so much deeper with intelligence and research and put it all together. It is fascinating. We would love to know more about that.
So a lot of salespeople think that they're providing value then to their prospects. And the thing is that, well, what they think is valuable is not what the prospect thinks is valuable. So just because the marketing team or the sales team said, here, go out there and share this information, if it's not relevant to them, then it's useless. And so, the most important thing and most relevant thing is, what's most important to the CEO. So if you could speak to helping that CEO achieve her goals or solve their problems and everything like that, then you're going to make a hero out of the buyer. And of course, then that's a great start to a long-lasting relationship.
Wow, that is radically different. I mean, it's such a unique approach, and especially like we've talked about in today's day and age and moving forward into the future, it really does have to be very customized. And the fact that you're really approaching this with that research and intelligence is phenomenal.
You know, it's not the list will actually give you their name and their title and their phone number. That's not nearly enough. It's like you have to know the company, you have to know their industry, but you also have to know the person, you know, themselves at a deeper level, and also then now how all of those things are connected.
Right, what matters to them, how it connects to the bigger vision, how it all intertwines. That is definitely far more intelligent than here's a name and here's a prospect.
Make a call, make 100 calls today.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Totally done.
So you've actually created an app that is a total game changer for people who are truly wanting to get out of push sales and get into sales credibility and really build that. It's really, truly a game changer. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's based on the book that I wrote in 2020 called Sales Cred, How Buyers Qualify Sellers.
Yeah.
But then we actually next level it. So the app is free on the app stores, you know, for your iPhone or for your Android device. And with that, you get free insights about sales credibility, but also sales mindset and having the proper mindset and tool set. So we focus on all those things. But you can also then buy a membership with them where we evaluate then your natural sales credibility and then direct you to things you have to be more intentional about. We also then have the ability then to make an in-app purchase then, so that for any prospect that you want to call on, we're going to give you all of our category intelligence, all of our audience and buyer intelligence, as well as give you then additional information that we've been able to mine in real time then about that prospect, so that you're fully prepared with all the background and all the context then before you actually make the call.
Totally mind-blowing. Lee, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been my pleasure, Cindy.
Absolutely. If you are looking to become that trusted advisor and build your sales credibility, download the SalesCred mobile app at salescred.com.